Of trust, serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson, celebrating 25 years of commitment to Guam, Micronesia, and the CNMI. Cars Plus Hyundai, home of the Kona electric vehicle, an electric heart with an SUV soul. Test drive yours today at Cars Plus. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it, and King's Restaurant, serving your local breakfast, lunch, and dinner favorites for over 45 years.
Now on Primetime, in court today, bail has been set at $250,000 for the man who allegedly stabbed to death a Dedido man. Plus, your elected lawmakers inch closer to adopting a revenue projection for fiscal year 2023. We'll bring you the latest from session this afternoon. And a co-founder of the Make-A-Wish Foundation is on island for this weekend's annual gala. These stories and so much more now on KUAM News. Hafide Guam, I'm Jason Salas. These are tonight's top stories. Glad you could join us tonight. Well, $250,000 cash bail has been set for alleged murderer 31-year-old Samson Sapuchi. He's accused of stabbing death on Monday of 24-year-old Kifirsten Kai Akim in the parking lot of the Dedido Center. Sapuchi has a previous conviction in 2015 of aggravated assault and is charged with first-degree murder for allegedly stabbing the victim with a Hawaiian sling or a spear. For the time being, co-defendant 52-year-old Cyrus Matias had bail set at $3,000 cash. He has no priors but has been on Guam for just a year and has 2 warrants of arrest for traffic violations. Both men are confined along with 3 other men in the deadly beating. Well, Guam's finest are seeking your help in locating 45-year-old Cheryl Moana Marie Borja. She's wanted for questioning in an ongoing investigation and was last seen at house number 132B on Sergeant Henry Peretta Street in Barrigada. She stands 5 foot 1 inch, weighing 110 pounds with a fair complexion. She's got black hair and brown eyes. She also has a tattoo of roses. Police says she is known to frequent Matabusan Road in Barrigada, the Bel Air apartment complex in Mangilao, House 208 on J.A. Pangilinan Street over in Jotnya, Unit A1 Villa de Este apartments in Mongmong, and Taluba Street in Totu. GPD adds that Borja is believed to be avoiding authorities and may flee once spotted. To political news, senators are getting closer to adoption a revenue projection for fiscal year 2023 with which to determine how much the administration will have to spend on government operations come October 1st. With more details on today's budget session, here is Nestor Lecanto.
Budget talks start with the revenue projection, and the Office of Finance and Budget released a revenue summary showing $1.02 billion, with $713 million of that in general fund collections. Minority Leader Chris Dueña says he's crunched the numbers, and if you factor in some additional federal funding windfalls, such as $56 million in EITC that GovGuam no longer has to pay, and another $8 million that won't be withheld from Section 30 funds to pay war claims, then it's actually a lot more than the $99 million excess OFB is projecting.
I come out to $160 million. In terms of all those differences in adopted levels, but a thorough analysis, at least from my part, speculation on some areas, but true numbers in terms of adopted revenues in 22 contrasted with revenues now.
OFB Director Steve Guerrero generally concurred, especially with one thing in particular.
I can safely say that there's going to be an increase in revenues in FY23. With that said, I also need to note that, the expenses for GovGuam has also grown. And I would like to think that, in every normal year that the expenses and revenues will grow proportionately. So, there's always enough revenues to cover your growth in expenditures.
But he says once expenditures become fixed costs, they automatically build into the bottom line. An example might be salary increases, which are included in the FY23 budget. Otherwise, Dueñas urges senators to continue their conservative ways.
Anything in excess to that is going to have to be an absolute true priority. Because for us to throw out all the rules that we established for ourselves over the last 3 fiscal years that got us here, Mr. Chairman, to me would be irresponsible.
Once senators do adopt a revenue projection, they will proceed to a review of individual appropriations for each line agency. For KUAM News, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Now, trust me, friends, you're going to want to pay attention for this story, as you might want to be prepared for possible load shedding as far as 9 o'clock tonight. GPA says the PD number 8 generator tripped Thursday night due to a defective transformer temperature monitor, and there were isolated blackouts in service to affected customers that was restored after reserve generators came online. But this morning, the Cabris 2 unit tripped off, knocking out a large 45 megawatts of capacity, which caused brief power interruptions to several areas. GPA says it's now working to determine the root cause for the tripping, and it does appear to be another boiler tube leak. Crews are working on the PD8 unit, so the system will be vulnerable during peak demand. A schedule of area outage will be available on GPA's website and social media pages should the need for load shedding arise once again, possibly between 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. tonight. Power interruptions could last about an hour. In business headlines, there's a new airline in town as Mariana's Southern Airways has officially taken off in the region, adding more options for residents needing to travel within the CNMI and Guam. Tomas Manglona has this report.
MSA is only going to be successful based on, how the community goes and accepts us. And so we wanted to go and have a launch party.
Mariana's Southern Airways officially took off and landed its first flight in the NMI Friday morning. They plan to launch over 90 weekly flights.
We've got brand new planes that are coming direct from the factory in Italy to Saipan. Those are going to be landing over the next few days. We have an obligation to serve, not just an obligation to make a profit for our shareholders. So we want to take the lessons that we've learned over the years serving places like Molokai and Lanai and Maui and Oahu and bring those to the CNMI. We know there are a lot of people that need to travel more often than they're able to right now.
The fleet they run in Hawaii has been active for decades now, and those operations in the Pacific span Rota, Tinian, Saipan, and Guam. The airliner will compete with Star Marianas.
We need another airline to service CNMI, not just for our people, but the opportunity for our private sectors, and most especially as well is our tourism industry.
They say their goal is to not only provide daily, reliable, and consistent flights, but also flights within the islands that allow residents to connect to United Airlines trips to Asia and the States. Tomas Manglona for KUAM News.
Well, President Biden hosted military families, advocates, and lawmakers at the White House on Wednesday. After weeks of demonstrations by those families, the Senate passed the Promises to Address Comprehensive Toxics Act, otherwise known as PACT, which the president signed into law during the gathering. It's being lauded as the largest health care and benefit expansion in VA history, providing access to health care for vets who might have been exposed to toxic conditions in the Vietnam conflict, along with the Gulf War and post-9/11 eras. PACT also covers veterans on Guam who suffer from illnesses related to Agent Orange. The VA says those serving on Guam or in the territorial waters off the islands from 1962 through 1980 are able to receive care. The Justice Department, in other news, has asked a court to unseal the search warrant the FBI received before searching the Florida estate of former President Donald Trump, so says the U.S. Attorney General. And before the search, Trump was issued a subpoena in the spring, followed by a meeting at his estate in June, all of it concerning documents removed from the White House. Here's more.
Attorney General Merrick Garland says he personally approved the decision to carry out the search warrant at the Florida home of former President Donald Trump.
The department filed the motion to make public the warrant and receipt in light of the former president's public confirmation of the search, the surrounding circumstances, and the substantial public interest in this matter.
His remarks followed days of outrage from Republicans and allies of the former president over the FBI search at Mar-a-Lago earlier this week. Garland pushed back on critics questioning his department's credibility.
The men and women of the FBI and the Justice Department are dedicated, patriotic public servants.
A new Morning Consult political poll shows 49% of registered voters approve of the FBI search, while 37% say they disapprove. Trump says his legal team was fully cooperating, going on to say the government could have had anything they wanted if we had it. Sources tell CBS News his counsel hasn't seen the FBI affidavit supporting the warrant.
Trump, can we have a word?
The Trump Organization is also being investigated by the New York Attorney General for Mr. Trump's business dealings, even as he eyes a possible run for president in 2024.
What do you make of just these mounting investigations facing the former president?
It's going to be very difficult for him to run a successful campaign.
Meanwhile, amid criticism from skeptics, White House officials say they didn't know in advance about the Attorney General's remarks. Skylar Henry reporting for KUAM News.
FBI Director Christopher Wray released a statement in which he said unfounded attacks on the integrity of the FBI erode respect for the rule of law and are a disservice to the men and women who sacrifice so much to protect others. Violence and threats you write against law enforcement, including the FBI, are dangerous and should be deeply concerning to all Americans. He continued to write, every day I see the men and women of the FBI doing their jobs professionally and with rigor, objectivity, and a fierce commitment to the mission of protecting Americans and holding the Constitution. I am proud, he says, to serve alongside them. Well, we are going to take a break, but when we come back, the ribbon is cut this morning, unveiling the new aircraft rescue and firefighting facility, and the co-founder of Make-A-Wish is on Guam. Stay tuned, there's more coming up.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
Half a day. I'm Governor Lou Leon Guerrero, and I'm proud to report that we have opened a new relief center to help you as we continue to recover from the pandemic.
From healthcare to welfare, childcare, housing, and utilities, we have a wide variety of direct relief programs available to help you.
This central location provides direct access to most of our public assistance programs under one roof. Our friendly staff are ready to help you through the application process.
We are working to ensure you get the assistance you need to receive the relief available to you and your family.
This means more support to help you meet the cost of living and give you more money in your pocket.
We are improving how government is working. Our administration continues to invest in Guam's future, delivering relief and driving our recovery.
Visit the Government of Guam Relief Center at the 3rd floor of the Bank of Hawaii building in Hagåtña, Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. or call us at 671-475-2060.
Hafaday and Mabuhay. I am Dennis Rodriguez Jr., a proud Filipino Gomanian who cares about our island and our people. Throughout my years of government service, I have advocated for adequate health care, education, and a stronger public safety workforce. I support Lou and Josh, and I'm confident that this team will prioritize the needs of our people like they have done throughout the pandemic. There is more work to be done, and I'm confident that Lou and Josh are the right leaders to move our island forward. Mga kapwa kong Pilipino, maraming pong salamat sa tiwala ninyo sa akin noon senador po ako. Hinihiling ko po uli ang tulong at tiwala ninyo. Sana po iboto ninyo si Lou at Josh para gobernador at vice-gobernador. Sila po ang ating pwedeng tiwalaan. I'm voting for Lou and Josh, and I'm humbly asking my friends and family to vote for them too. I'm all in.
This is Governor Lou Leon Guerrero, and I approve this message.
Santa Fe family.
Subscribe to our KUAM News Digest, our weekly email newsletter with all kinds of information straight to your inbox. Just subscribe and we'll make sure to keep you informed and entertained with news from the KUAM News team, what to watch on NBC and CBS, and the latest promotions from KUAM Communications. Go to KUAM.com, click on the newsletter tab at the top of the homepage, register, and you're all set. Brought to you by Uno Go, Guam on Demand.
A ribbon-cutting ceremony was held earlier today to officially open the aircraft rescue firefighting facility over at the AB Wanpat International Airport. The state-of-the-art facility is designed so that firefighters stationed at the venue can respond to any emergency that may present itself. Executive Manager of the Guam International Airport Authority, John Canata, gave these welcoming remarks.
There is no way that this airport can remain open if ARF is not online. If we were to be deemed uncertified to have our facility open, the airport will shut down because in order to provide a safe and secure airport, the ARF firefighting rescue crew has to be online.
Canata also said the crew will be stationed at the facility 24/7 and must respond to any emergency within 3 minutes or less. The overall total to build the new facility was more than $27 million. In regional headlines, open the CNMI, there continues to be an increase in COVID cases on Saipan. This week, the Commonwealth Healthcare reported 3 new hospitalizations and 133 more COVID cases from July 31st to August 6th. Of those total cases identified, there are more than 12,700 recoveries, 96 cases active, and 38 COVID-19 related deaths in the CNMI. 11,789 were found through community testing and almost 1,100 were via travel testing. The Saipan Hospital also updated its screening protocol for patients and visitors, saying PCR testing of all admissions is no longer required but may be requested by the attending physician. PCR or antigen testing may be used by attending physicians for patients suspected of having COVID-19 as a reason for hospitalization or for any already admitted patients who exhibit new respiratory symptoms relative to COVID-19 while hospitalized. All visitors will be screened for flu-like symptoms daily upon entry and must use face masks. Staying up north, there continues to be a slow and steady increase of tourists staying at Saipan hotels. According to a recent report by the Hotel Association of Northern Mariana Islands, on July 12th, hotels reported a 34% average occupancy rate compared to just 16% for the same period last year. A total of better than 15,000 available room nights were sold during July of 2022 compared to about 6,000 available sold in July of 2021. The average room rate was a little more than $158 compared to $10 cheaper the previous year. Chairman Ivan Kitsu said, and I quote, "We saw a small spike in June thanks to the Pacific Mini Games, and in July, direct flights from South Korea continue to be the foundation for most visitor arrivals." He says they look forward to slightly higher occupancy rates and more revenue generation beginning in September, with 3 flights directly between Tokyo and Saipan by United Airlines. He also united that there is more work to be done to, of course, rebuild the Japan market. Back here at home, a big celebration was held Thursday night at the UOG to recognize the National Sea Grant College Program, officially designating UOG Sea Grant Institution as a Sea Grant Institute. Now, with this new designation, UOG is both a land grant and sea grant institution. Jonah Goncharfers has more.
The University of Guam Sea Grant Program launched more than 2 decades ago, and in the spring of this year, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration officially approved UOG Sea Grant's institutional designation. What this means? It will bring more resources for the program to do better marine coastal resource science and outreach with the island community. Director Dr. Austin Shelton said the journey to receiving such a landmark institutional status started late last year when the program underwent a rigorous review.
Just last year in October, we went through a very comprehensive 2-week review where we were looked at for our productivity, for the type of science that we're doing, for the partners that we are able to bring together. And the National Sea Grant Program and the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration has found that we meet all of these standards of excellence, and they've officially designated us as a Sea Grant Institute.
The UOG Sea Grant Program is one of 34 Sea Grant programs nationwide and is not only the youngest, it's also the smallest. According to Jonathan Pennock, director of the National Sea Grant College Program, the UOG Sea Grant Program demonstrated excellence in research, education, and public service dedicated to the environmentally responsible management and development of Guam's marine and coastal resources. To acknowledge such an achievement, a ceremony and celebration was held Thursday night at the UOG Cabo Fieldhouse with educational outreach, food, giveaways, and entertainment.
We really look forward to expanding the impact that we're going to be able to have here, and so we look forward to reaching out and continuing to work with all of the amazing partners on Guam to have a sustainable future for all of us.
Reporting for KUAM News, I'm Jonah Goncharfers.
Well, the Make-A-Wish Foundation Guam and CNMI's biggest fundraiser, its annual gala, will take place on Saturday at the Hyatt Regency Guam, and in attendance will be none other than one of the co-founders of the Make-A-Wish Foundation of America. Last night, a special meet and greet event was held to welcome Linda Pauling. Joan has more.
And I love wishes.
Thursday night at the Cars Plus showroom in Mighty, the Make-A-Wish Foundation Guam and CNMI Board of Directors held a special meet and greet with Linda Pauling, a co-founder of Make-A-Wish Foundation. Fondly known as the mother of Make-A-Wish, Pauling is on island to attend the annual gala.
The joy of being with Make-A-Wish on their gala night, telling the story of how Make-A-Wish began, and just hearing the wishes that they have fulfilled, is amazing. It really is.
Pauline was invited by Make-A-Wish Guam and CNMI President and CEO Eric Tidinko, who explained how her story helped start the whole foundation.
Her son was the one who had a desire and a wish to become a police officer. And so she and some neighbor friends who happened to be police officers got together and made that happen for this little boy who was, he had cancer. And so that started the whole Make-A-Wish movement. So as you can imagine, we're so excited because it's such a privilege and an honor for us to have her here at our event, all the way here in Guam.
And although the event is sold out, Pauline encourages people to volunteer and do what they can.
A child's wish is a child's dream come true. And we've had many children that have grown up and they said, when I got my wish, it was amazing because I really felt I was gonna live. So many times they don't have the hope, but a wish just turns something on inside of them. And I want to do that again, so yes. But just a wish is so wonderful and it's so important. The family gets to spend time. They get to create memories, laughter, smiles that last a lifetime.
And with over 550,000 wishes granted to date, we had to ask Pauline which one was her favorite.
It's hard to pick one, but I think my favorite wish will be the next one because then another child has their wish come true.
Reporting for KUAM News, I'm Jonagan Chavres.
And Daniel Perez has our next story as the Micronesian Resource Center's one-stop shop opened the doors to their new office over in Tamuning today. Here's Daniel's report.
It's a center that provides informational and educational services to families from the freely associated states, which include the Republic of the Marshall Islands, Palau, and the Federated States of Micronesia. Today, the Micronesian Resource Center One-Stop Shop, a project of Manyelu, opened the doors to their new Tamuning office. Executive Director Samantha Taitano.
If anybody is just sort of in need of assistance and doesn't know quite where to go, our team is really knowledgeable in all of the different services that are available here on Guam. So we can connect you to either government programs or other nonprofit programs.
The new office is also home to the Edmund Wengu Micronesian Learning Center, where they offer a variety of programs and other activities for self-development.
It's a space here in office, but then we are also able to kind of take all of our equipment out with us. And it's a place for us to hold workshops, presentations. We also offer it to our partners. And then also people can come in for some individual learning here as well. So as you can see, we have a lot of laptops behind me. We also have like a projector that'll be in here as well. So we just have lots of things going on in here and lots of opportunities for people to empower themselves. We have a workforce development program. It teaches financial literacy, soft skill development, and then pre-employment. So building your resume, preparing for an interview. We also have a study session called Ready to Drive, and it's helping people just study up for their driver's test.
Taisano shared that the Resource Center caters to those from the freely associated states, but added it's open to anyone seeking help.
We have multilingual caseworkers here that speak 4 of the main languages and the FSM, who are able to assist people do translations, interpretation services, and just kind of help people kind of get through any sort of process, whether it's applying for public benefits or maybe it's also applying for a job. So our team's here to help with that.
For those interested in taking any of the programs the Micronesian Resource Center offers, or if you're just in need of help, you can contact them at 671-789-1265 or check out their website at manyelu.org. Daniel Perez reporting for KUAM News.
All right, everybody, before we take a pause for another commercial break, a special vaccination clinic for kids 6 months old to 11 years old is going to be held, the event is going to be hosted by the Department of Public Health and Social Services on Saturday, tomorrow, August 13th, downtown at the Agana Shopping Center, starting at 11 a.m. and lasting till 3 in the afternoon. Pediatricians will be available on site as well to answer questions from parents or guardians. So please do get your little ones vaccinated at that event. All right, Double D is coming back with sports.
Lunches, snacks, we got diapers for baby girl. Oh, 7:15, we gotta go. Bread, milk. Gas for work. Remember to grab Joe Boy a birthday present. Half a day.
Hey, Molly, how much do you pay for daycare for the kids?
Over $600 a month. It's expensive.
Did you hear about the governor's program that covers up to $675 a month for childcare?
Wow, that would be a lifesaver with the rising cost of everything.
Check guamchildcare.com to apply. We qualified. I even booked an appointment for someone to walk me through the process.
guamchildcare.com. Okay, thanks. I'll apply today.
This ad is paid for with federal funds administered by DPHSS.
Every person in this world is unique.
I'm a celebrity makeup artist and a content creator.
I'm the vice president of our company and a very proud grandma.
I'm a Filipino and I am 7 years old.
I would say I am always an eternal student.
I define beauty as being empowered, just feeling beautiful as who you are.
I am a Chamorro, born and raised in Guam.
저는 사랑이 최고라고 생각합니다.
It is valuing our differences, respecting one another, and sharing a deep love for our island.
Is what makes us one people.
KUAM Sports is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
Tomorrow morning's fired up 2K and 5K run walk takes place at the Governor Joseph Flores Beach Park in Tumon. Pro aside, show up early and register at the event. Funds raised will go towards the 22nd Fire Cycle graduation ceremony.
Right now, we're actually we're maxed out at our pre-registration bibs. However, we are accommodating the same-day registration, which will be at the site. Showtime will be 5 o'clock, so at that time we can start registering anybody that would like to show up on that day and take part of the run. That will be $15 per person. Ultimately, doing these events helps with our camaraderie outside of the academy aspect of the training. So it allows us to have some free time together too, get to know each other a little better, and these events are they're for the community as well.
The good thing about this, from us 33 in the academy is even our spouses are, they're getting in the mix with it. They're trying to help out as much as possible when we're at home and we're tired and we got to focus on studying or doing our homework or our uniforms. They're there to step up and be like, hey, do you need help with, as far as like fundraising goes? They'll get the flyers ready, the pamphlets, everything like that. So, but volunteers are always welcome. We're gonna have a lot of people down there making sure that the race is going smoothly as well.
The Guam Taekwondo Center, in cooperation with the Consulate of the Republic of Korea in Agana, present the first Korean Consuls Cup held at the Micronesian Mall. The 20th anniversary celebration begins with the opening ceremony at 1 in the afternoon, followed by Master Noli's 6th martial art weapons tournament and first speed kicking tournament featuring Guam Taekwondo Center demonstration team. Congrats to the Aces on winning the U18 Girls Championship from the KFC Youth Summer Circuit at the National Training Center in Teason. The Aces beat the Islanders 41-27. Mia Titano led the way in the win with 14 points. Teammates Gia Peters and Maria Jean Paulino both chipped in with 7 points. Jada Hahn put up 12 points in her team's losing effort.
KUAM Sports is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
talk? Okay.
Don't need a work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replace, and I'll be around. Whoa. You can count on me. You can count on me for life.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
All right, it's Friday, so here's your last birthday shout-outs for this week. Jonathan Sablon, happy birthday to you, and you have the sole spotlight for today's birthday shout-outs for being born on August the 12th, and your shout-out says, happy birthday, Jonathan. We love you every day and forever. From your kids and family who give you the heart emoji and then say very, very effectively, Huguaiza. So Jonathan, from all of us at KUAM and Cold Stone Creamery, happy birthday, have a fantastic island weekend, and stay awesome. One more piece of business to get to. It is, of course, the time where we announce who's won a Cold Stone Creamery birthday cake for being this week's winner. Your birthday club winner this week is Sherry Napati, who was born on August the 7th, and Sherry and her friends and family, hopefully, are going to partake of a delicious Cold Stone Creamery ice cream cake. That is your prize for being this week's birthday winner and for just being awesome and for being born. So Sherry, we celebrate you. Enjoy your delicious, delicious prize. And sharing is caring. Happy extended birthday, Sherry, once again. That is going to do it, everybody. We wish you a safe and pleasant island weekend. Please be good to each other. Look forward to seeing you on Monday. Bye-bye.
Hafide, Mogathin, and Yakwe. Welcome back. One Micronesia podcast. We're here with another episode, and we're back into the Zoom room here. And because we need to reach out, the power of the Zoom is we get to reach out to other Micronesians who are out and abroad doing amazing things out in the States or wherever they're at, which is not Guam. So with me here on this episode, I'm speaking, and we're finally meeting it for the first time, not in person but in Zoom. I'm here with Loling Morris from the Marshall Islands, who is out in the States. Loling, thank you and welcome to the podcast, bro.
Blessed, brother. Blessed.
All right, so Loling, we're gonna get to know you in a little bit. We're gonna get to know the song that just came out. It's on Instagram. It's on YouTube. We're gonna talk about that song coming up in just a little bit, but we get to know our interviewees every time we jump on. So let's get to know you a little bit. Tell us more about Loling Morris.
I was born and raised in the Marshall Islands. I was, I had that passion of that dream of becoming something that we Marshallese never really saw, so that's why I'm here right now.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And I mean, you're a performer, you're a singer. So let's talk about that a little bit. Like, how did it all start for you? I mean, let's face it. I mean, you're from the Marshall Islands, and I know every kid in the Marshall Islands is a talented musician and singer. So let's tell us more about how it all started for you. Was it the ukulele first? Was it singing in church? What was first for you?
It's a funny story, bro. When I started this, so I grew up in a town. They say Uliga, right? Hey, represent. It's the you. Represent to my people. But yeah, man, I grew up in a town where they called American Town. And we were the outcasts. Like, we just moved into that town, right? It was a military town, and it was like half-ass kids, and they had so much toys and all that. And we're the kids that on the side just biting on nails, like, I want that. So I got so fascinated about guitars and ukulele, right? So since my parents couldn't afford to get me one, I had to be creative. I cut up a piece of wood and put like fishing line, 4 nails on both sides, started jamming to it right by the road. And that's when people started to noticing that I could be a singer. So that's when it all started. I was 7 years old.
Wow. Talk about the struggle is real. Talk about started from the bottom. Now we're here. Wow. That's a very amazing story to talk about it. You know, a kid who didn't have anything but made something out of something, and now you're where you're at. You have your own guitar, which has a ton of amazing, beautiful stickers. One of them is the Marshall Islands and the flag. It's crazy. So talk about that, man. So you were a kid, born and raised in the Marshalls. At what point in time did you decide to just pack up and just like move to the States and start another life?
Back in 2000, I was expecting a daughter, a beautiful. Her name is Zaria. Zaria, shout out to you in Maui. That's when I had to decide to move, just to leave home for like upcoming life of a father. And then when I went to Hawaii, that's when I saw so much opportunities of becoming a musician, and I saw some friends like Les Anjola, Flavor C, Juno June, all these good Marshallese artists, FOB, Lagoon. That's when I started, get into the mix. So I was blessed to meet these beautiful people, man.
Wow, that's awesome. That's an amazing story. So it all started for you in Hawaii, and then because now you're currently in what state?
I'm in Seattle right now.
Nice. So talk about that transition, because it's always hard for us islanders if you were born and raised right in the islands, and then you make a decision one day to up and then pack up and move to a totally different area where everything is new. We're experiencing new things now. I mean, we're going through things where we didn't experience in the islands. So talk about that transition for you, and how was it easy? Was the transition easy for you? Was it hard?
It was pretty tough at times, but in another way it was kind of easy, just in a way of getting that opportunity of trying to get something that you really dreamed of growing up. But along the way, sometimes you feel like you're giving up, you know what I mean? Because it's a different world. It's a different scene, you know what I mean?
It is definitely. And I mean, in this world, we're grinding every single day to make ends meet, like to put food on the table. You talk about that, to keep our lives going. We're always on this 24/7 grind, and to make sure that we have and our family is taken care of. So that's amazing to see that the transition was tough, but it for you, it looks like it all kind of worked out, and now you're in you're living in a way that you're getting used to, and you're definitely talk about getting used to. Well, let's go talk about your because I saw on your Instagram that you do open mics. That's amazing. I mean, a boy from the islands out in the States and doing open mics in front of a totally different crowd. Let's talk about that feeling.
Yeah, the first time I tried it, I was very nervous, man. But when I grabbed the mic, I started to realize that I'm the only Marshallese doing it. So I gotta represent, not only for Marshallese. I'm not representing only Marshallese people, man. I'm representing all Asian countries, So
That's
we
right.
gotta be out there, bro.
That's amazing. And then I love that you said that, because, especially with islanders out there, it's not about just Micronesia, but you guys talk about this whole camaraderie that you guys have around other Nesians. You talk about Melanesian, Polynesian. I think it's a very out there. It's this, we're all here. We're all islanders. Why not support each other? That's awesome.
We have to.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, Lowling Man, we're going to take a break, but when we come back, we're going to talk about your new song that's out. It's called We Will Survive. Talk about the writing process, talk about the recording process, talk about what the meaning of the song is, because it's such a very powerful song that's about the Marshall Islands and what the Marshall Islands is going through. right now. So we're going to take a break and we'll be right back. You're watching the One Micronesia podcast. We'll be right back.
Half a day. I'm Governor Lou Leon Guerrero, and I'm proud to report that we have opened a new relief center to help you as we continue to recover from the pandemic.
From healthcare to welfare, childcare, housing, and utilities, we have a wide variety of direct relief programs available to help you.
This central location provides direct access to most of our public assistance programs under one roof. Our friendly staff are ready to help you through the application process.
We are working to ensure you get the assistance you need to receive the relief available to you and your family.
This means more support to help you meet the cost of living and give you more money in your pocket.
We are improving how government is working. Our administration continues to invest in Guam's future, delivering relief and driving our recovery.
We are all in this together.
Visit the Government of Guam Relief Center at the 3rd floor of the Bank of Hawaii building in Hagåtña, Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. or call us at 671-475-2060.
I have a tablet. I have no TV. Ooh, TV on tab. Get live TV on your tablet or any device with DTV Plus from Docomo Pacific. Watch live channels or stream from your favorite apps on any device, all from your home Wi-Fi. No cable lines, no hassle, more savings. All for only $35 a month with your link bundle. DTV Plus, your cable TV on Wi-Fi. Ooh, TV on tab.
Start off your middays with the menu on KUAM News Hotspot, your preview to the big news items. Broadcast on KUAM TV8 weekday mornings at 11 with live stream on our social media platforms, plus an encore at 5 p.m. on KUAM TV11.
The menu, brought to you by King's Restaurant, always open, always local, and Ruby Tuesday Guam, home of the Fresh Garden Bar.
The most tempting part of your week is guaranteed to be Subway and Chili's Lunchbox Hours. Tune in Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Breeze 93.9 FM. Catch the greatest hits of your lifetime from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and the 2000s while you grub on a mouth-watering Subway footlong sandwich or tantalizing flavors you love from Chili's. Your Lunchbox Hours brought to you by Subway and Chili's.
No waiting in line to see your doctor or to pick up your medication. From tips to living a healthier lifestyle, nutrition and fitness, to the latest wellness trends, stay healthy by checking in for your weekly dose of health news on Health Check every Tuesday on KUAM News Extra. Health Check is presented by Island Cancer Center.
KUAM Communication is your home for star-studded entertainment from America's top networks. From specials, concerts, award shows, and can't-miss red carpet moments. It's all on KUAM TV8 and KUAM TV11. Check KUAM.com and our social media pages for showtimes and schedules. Network specials on KUAM Communications are brought to you locally by King's Restaurants, Ruby Tuesday Guam, and Docomo Pacific.
Yasunto gilingwahin ni Tataw Tano gi KUM News Tomorrow News Update sa stream gi internet gi Isla Radio dan ni KUM News YouTube na channel. Pates ti gidiuda din kinimitin mami para insisten ilinalay lingwahita din kulturata para todo henerasyon siya. Inafatui Tomorrow News Update ni Fambilan Mizo gi First Hawaiian Bank.
Hapade, Mogitin, and Yakwe. We're back. One Micronesia podcast. Now this is the part where we go and talk about amazing things that this guy's done. And one of the latest things that he's done is a song called We Will Survive. It's on YouTube, on Voices Rising, their YouTube page. It's such a beautiful, inspiring, and at the same time, a powerful song that has very, very powerful meaning behind it. So, Loling, let's talk about the writing process in this song. Talk about, let's just start there, the writing process and the meaning behind it.
The meaning behind We Will Survive is, there's nothing we could do, even if we could try so much to try to change the way people live nowadays. The only thing we could do is just tell each other that we will still survive. Life is just has those precious moments that you got to live up to. So all we got to do is just, tell my people back home, we will survive, man. It doesn't matter if we're sinking, 1.5 to, stay alive, but we will still survive.
Wow, that's amazing. And then that's such a very, like I said, inspiring song that literally is giving the people hope, and then I think that's at the same time, and I think one of the most beautiful thing about the people from the Marshall Islands is you guys never back down from any fight. And I've talked to a lot of Marshallese on the podcast here, and that's always what they go back to, is that whole idea of we're going to keep fighting. We're going to fight all the way. And you talk about, and if people are out there watching right now, and you're asking what the issue is, and it's global warming and sea level rise, and how it's affected the Marshall Islands and the islands here and in the Pacific as a whole. And we see the glaciers up in the North Pole and the South Pole melting, and that's one of the effects is it's affecting our islands. And Lowling here is singing about, we will survive, giving people hope that we'll fight on and we'll definitely see it through to the other end. So, man, it's such a powerful song. Let's talk about so you wrote the song. You're talking to your people. You're talking to the Marshallese people and telling them that, hey, it's okay. We're going to keep fighting and we'll definitely survive. Talk about the recording part of it. Was it recorded there in the States? Was it recorded?
Just want to give a shout out to After 95 Creation and Voices Rising. These guys, man, I'm so blessed to have ever met them, to ever been into this the situation of trying to create something powerful, a message like that. So I wrote that song right when I was recording it. It was right out of the get-go, So they gave me the idea, and I just wrote it because I was feeling it. I felt something that I usually felt when I was back home, So that's when I wrote it, and the first thing that came into my mind was, I'm standing on a piece of rock, so a little tiny island. So as it went off from there.
That's awesome, man. And it's always, and especially for you, you were born and raised in the Marshall Islands. You felt it, you saw it, you saw what people were experiencing, and then, having moved and then writing a song about it. I think it's very true. And everything, every word in every line of that song speaks truth and that's why it has so much power behind it.
Well, I try my best to not leave my people behind of any success that I would ever go through.
That's awesome. That's how it is, and that's pretty much how we all should think about it. All of us islanders out and abroad doing their thing. That at the end of it, at some point in time, we should never forget our roots and never forget where we came from.
Yes,
so
sir.
That's exactly what you're doing. That's awesome, man.
It's always about the roots, brother.
Yeah. Okay. That's it. All right, Lowling, we're gonna take a break, but when we come back, we're definitely gonna talk about what's new, what's in stores for Lowling here in 2022 and beyond. We'll talk more about that. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. You're watching the One Mike Media podcast.
Honey, do you want some milk?
Do you ever wonder how your favorite products make their way into your local stores? Most arrive on state-of-the-art Matson vessels that transport containers of food, household items, equipment, and supplies into the islands every week. Because we know that you depend on us, we work closely with our partners to ensure that our shipments arrive on time, all the time, so you can find your favorite products when you need them. We transport the region's most precious cargo that supports successful businesses and promotes a better quality of life for our families. Matson is proud to have been the hometown shipping carrier for Guam, the CNMI, and Micronesia for the past 25 years, and you can count on us to be here for generations to come.
Santa Fe family.
Watch Mariana's artists, activists, and visionaries and their quest to protect, preserve, and promote our Chamorro culture on the Culture Club, a weekly feature on KUAM News digital platform and the KUAM News Weekend Edition. Culture Club is brought to you by Tropicool Ice, the purest, cleanest ice in Guam.
The Culture Club, winner of the 2022 Regional Edward R. Murrow Award for Excellence in Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion.
Join us in saluting those making strides and serving in our armed forces every Tuesday on the KUAM News Instagram account. These weekly posts round up profiles of Guamanians receiving accolades in the armed forces, those stationed on Guam making a difference in our community, and veterans being recognized for their service. Presented by Future Smiles Orthodontics. Build a brighter future with a brighter smile.
As the Decision 2022 race shapes up, keep it with KUAM News for all the news you need to know as you head to the polls. From weekly profile analysis on the Hub on KUAM News Hotspot to our online candidate directory on KUAM.com, special features on KUAM Digital and KUAM News Primetime, plus live coverage of forums and debates. We're your one-stop source on every platform. Stay informed with KUAM News, your news leader, the voice of the Marianas.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
Save the date for the last Thursday of each month because you know what that means. We're taking you along with us on awesome adventures to buzzworthy places to check out, entertainment scenes, and new trends. Catch Uno Mix on the last Thursday of each month on the stations, networks, and digital platforms of KUAM Communications.
Uno Mixed is presented to you by Pepsi. That's what I like.
Hafide, Mogitin, and Yakwe. We're back. One Micronesia podcast. We're still here with Loli Morris, Marshallese singer out in Seattle. Loling, bro, we talked about how it all started for you. A young boy back in the Marshall Islands who didn't have money to buy a ukulele or a guitar. He stringed up his own using, what he could find. And now you're out there in the States. You're doing open mics. You have an album out already. You have a single out that we just talked about, which is called "We Will Survive," and such a powerful meaning behind it. Let's talk about what's in stores. What's the future for Loli Morris?
Well, I got an album coming out real soon. I'm still working on it. I got a couple songs that I need to retouch, especially the 2 songs with the Rebel Soldiers. There's this Marshallese guy, a brother, that's he's the keyboardist with the Rebel Soldiers, and I'm still working on 2 songs with him. If I finish those 2 songs, then I'll know when exactly my album is gonna come out.
Wow, you just said it straight and with no reaction, and I'm over here reacting to it. The fact that you're collaborating with one of the most known reggae bands in the islands, which is Rebel Soldiers. That is crazy. How did that happen, and how's working with them like?
Man, they're good people, bro. Cause there's this keyboardist I'm talking about. He's Marshallese. That guy just pulled me up to their studio, and I just worked on 2 songs, and I don't know. I gotta retouch them.
Wow. Well, we can't wait. We can't wait to hear those songs. I'm like, I can't wait. I mean, you talk about that keyboardist. Let him know, man. Let him know. I'll hit him up. For a podcast too. I mean, I'm waiting to talk to the keyboardist also from Maui out in Hawaii. So, I mean, there's so much amazing.
Thomas?
Yep. That guy is such amazing, so humble. I met with him when they were out here for a concert here in Guam. He's such an awesome guy. But nice yeah, man, guy, you guys are definitely out there doing amazing things. Just keep it up and just keep it going. Well, Loling, anything else you got in mind? Anything else you have planned for the future?
I just want to give a big shout out to my mom in Marshall Islands, my son, my daughters, Mazu, Zaria, I love you guys, and my wife, my brothers, my siblings back home, and my family, man, Hooligan for life. I want to give a big shout out to you guys. And then I just want to, one last thing, I want everybody to look out for Rolo Morris album coming out real soon. Yeah, man. Bless it.
All right. Well, Oling, we're going to take a break. We'll come back and we'll do final messages and where people can find you coming up in a little bit, okay?
Mobile offers a new and convenient way to fuel your vehicle. Pay gas and go. No need to line up inside the store. Press preset. enter whole dollar amount without decimals. Press Loyalty ID and enter your mobile number or insert Smiles card. Insert and remove payment card or tap contactless credit card. Begin fueling. And don't forget to grab your receipt. Pay gas and go. It's that easy.
MTO Maintenance will now completely sanitize your home, office, or business with state-of-the-art commercial sprayers. For over 30 years, MTO Maintenance has been committed to the health and safety of our customers. And now, more than ever, a clean home, office, carpets, and furniture is a necessity to our island. Give us a call today. Stay healthy and stay safe, Guam.
Call 647-6861 for an appointment.
KUAM Digital presents a series highlighting the wide array of talents on our island. Whether they're a standout gamer, extreme athlete, performer, or have a unique skill to show off, we're showcasing them every month on Wow Factor. Brought to you by Mountain Dew. Do the do.
Start off your middays with the menu on KUAM News Hotspot, your preview to the big news items. Broadcast on KUAM TV8 weekday mornings at 11 with live stream on our social media platforms, plus an encore at 5 p.m. on KUAM TV11.
The Menu, brought to you by King's Restaurant, always open, always local, and Ruby Tuesday Guam, home of the fresh Garden Bar.
No waiting in line to see your doctor or to pick up your medication. From tips to living a healthier lifestyle, nutrition and fitness, to the latest wellness trends, stay healthy by checking in for your weekly dose of health news on Health Check every Tuesday on KUAM News Extra. Health Check is presented by Island Cancer Center.
Watch Mariana's artists, activists, and visionaries and their quest to protect, preserve, and promote our Chamorro culture on the Culture Club, a weekly feature on KUAM News digital platform and the KUAM News Weekend Edition. Culture Club is brought to you by Tropicool Ice, the purest, cleanest ice in Guam.
The Culture Club, winner of the 2022 Regional Edward R. Murrow Award for Excellence in Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion.
Today, Mokitin and Yakwe, the last part of the podcast. We're still here with Marshallese performer Loling Morris. Loling, man, such an awesome talk we have here. I wish we had all the time in the world to just kick it back and chit chat. But hey, maybe one day when you come back to the islands or I'm in there in the States, we'll meet and we'll definitely kick back. But until then, talk to young artists watching right now, young Micronesian artists who someday want to do what you're doing, performing, making music videos, doing albums. What message do you have for them?
To the ones that are back home that has dreams, how people when they say, I have a dream. No, don't put it a dream, man. Live it. It's a life. If you want it, go get it. Nobody else is going to go get it for you, man. You got to go get it for yourself. I come from, all of us, man, we all come from the slums, We've been living so many things and in so many ways that it blocks our views of something really good for all of us that we could, be successful and provide for people that grew up the same way that I did, So when you have that dream, man, you don't catch it, eat it, catch it with your mouth.
All right. Well, there you heard it, man. Well, Loling, thank you so much for jumping on the podcast here. Before I let you go, where can people go follow you? Where can people go watch your videos, your album, all of that?
But yeah, just follow Loling Morris. It's just simple. It's Loling Morris. Search it everywhere, any kind of social media, whatever. And then, if you see a Marshallese guy with a dreadlock, that's the only Loling Morris.
There you go. All right. Well, Brother Loling, thank you so much for the time. I know you just got off work. You're tired, but you agreed to jump on the podcast here. Thank you so much. Get home safely. And I'll like I said, hopefully someday, we'll meet and we'll definitely kick back.
Yeah, I got you, my brother. Hey, anything for the islands, man. Hey, blessed love.
All right. Well, there you have it, guys. Another podcast in the books. One Micronesia podcast. Loling, thank you so much. You watching. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you on the next one. My name is Victorious. All I've got to say is peace.